Hello. Do you feel taken for granted as a Surrey voter? If so, you now have a chance to do something about it by voting for change. I am your independent residence candidate in Surrey County Council's Englefield Green Ward, which includes much of Egham. This, in essence, is what I stand for. First, casting light on the financial mess at Surrey's County Hall that brings the threat of big cuts in services. Secondly, getting the County Council to think again about switching off many of the streetlights between midnight and 5 AM in Englefield Green and Egham. Thirdly, full, ongoing opposition to the Heathrow third runway. You turn if you want to, Philip Hammond, but I'm not for turning in favour of a scheme that would bring more noise, toxic air pollution and traffic congestion to our area, and has alarming implications for the Egham level crossings. Fourthly, halting the Runnymede roundabout so-called improvement scheme, which threatens to plunge the area into gridlock for many months. As a strong opponent of the Heathrow third runway and as a believer in sound finances, I feel deeply let down by the Conservative establishment in Surrey. Surrey is one of the most affluent counties in the land, so why are the finances of its county council in crisis? That description came from the Conservative leader David Hodge. He proposed earlier this year that, uniquely in the whole country, the council taxpayers in Surrey should be asked to back a 15% increase in their bills. He then dramatically changed his tune and proposed an increase of 4.99% instead, but in doing so made his crisis comment. So what is going on? How is the council now to cope financially in 2017-18 and beyond? What cuts in services are secretly in store? Mr Hodge has said cuts of 123 million will now be necessary in 2017-18. An independent report, withheld from county councillors for many weeks, has just stated, moreover, that without the extra money that would have come in from the 15% increase in council tax bills that Mr Hodge wanted originally, the County Council financial reserves are liable to be depleted by a massive 41% in the financial year 2017-18. Why, in any case, have the Council's finances been reduced to such a terrible state? Mr Hodge blames cuts in central government grant of 170 million since 2010. The government blames Surrey County Council. Either way, the situation has to reflect badly on the Conservatives. They have been ruling in Downing Street since 2010, as well as being in charge of the County Council. There is no one else to blame. This story is part of a well-established pattern. The Conservative leadership in Surrey have come to believe that whatever they do, however much they mess up, however much they break faith, the people of Surrey will carry on voting for them. They need to be shown this isn't true. I feel betrayed, and betrayed isn't too strong a word in my opinion, over the proposed Heathrow third runway. In the run-up to the last general election, I chaired a public meeting at which Runnymede MP and Chancellor of the Exchequer Philip Hammond spoke firmly against the third runway. On that basis, I voted for him. So you can easily imagine my anger when he subsequently backed it in Cabinet. The fight to stop it must continue, but Surrey County Council is now conspicuous by its near absence from the battle. It must join those Conservative-led councils, including Windsor and Maidenhead, that are taking legal action against the government. The lights are literally going out in Egham and Englefield Green. In terms of the county's overall budget, the saving is tiny, but it could prove a burglar's delight and is likely to produce a sense of insecurity. At the very least, the lights should be kept on until 1 AM, half an hour after the last train from Waterloo gets to Egham. The Runnymede roundabout. I believe the improvement scheme to which Surrey County Council will contribute £1.5 million is misconceived. It will create a mini spaghetti junction and the construction will produce months of gridlock. Why not experiment instead with more traffic lights that are switched on for longer and put the savings into improved social care? I have lived in Egham since 1980 and I have a long track record of fighting to save the local community's character against development schemes, not least those of Heathrow Airport and Royal Holloway College, which seem to be laying siege to the area. I abhor the college's master plan expansion and was pleased to team up with members of the Englefield Green Village Residents Association in campaigning against it. Do you feel taken for granted by Surrey's political establishment? Do you feel it is time to rise up? If so, vote for me on May the 4th in a ward where only independents can beat the Conservatives. A vote for one of the currently virtually useless national opposition parties is effectively a vote for the Conservatives. Vote for change. May the 4th be with us. And a little about myself. I am a retired journalist who worked at Westminster as a political editor for 32 years. I became the first independent member of Runnymede Borough Council for Egham Town in 1984, in the middle of the largely successful battle to save the Manor-Cross playing field from housing development. My candidature for the Surrey election has been approved by the Egham Residents Association. I also chair the Flame Group, spearheading local opposition to M25 widening, and I'm vice chairman of the Egham Town team. When I retired in 2012 as the political editor of the Norwich-based Eastern Daily Press, I had interviewed, put questions to, or at the very least been in the same room as 8 consecutive Prime Ministers, starting with Ted Heath and ending with David Cameron. My wife Hilary and I have 3 children and 4 grandchildren. Thank you.